Hello there, mates. Mooshi Gamer here, and this is ShadowRun Hong Kong episode 31. And so, right when we got here, Kylie Ching started talking, and I was like, So, here we are, about to talk to Kylie Ching. Why not? Hello, my darling. There's a thrill in her voice that you haven't heard before. Come see me at once. I have something I want to show you. Your crew is already here. I'll be there right away. Very good, my sweet. Very good. I'll see you shortly. Well, I did say I'd go see what she wanted right away. So, but what I'm gonna do here is that there are so many dialogues, there's so many people to talk to. I actually just want to kind of go through the entire city and just talk to anybody, no matter how long it takes, and just finish every dialogue. There's really some interesting things to talk about in the city. And so this would be like a conversation episode, and we won't miss out on any conversations otherwise. And there's hey, hi, Gaichi is here. There we are. Wow, cool. As you walk through the mahjong parlor, you see your crew waiting for you, clearly uncomfortable to be so close to the triad boss. Then you see why. Kylie Ching's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard. Nice to see you all. Should we grab a table for some mahjong? Let's get to it, shall we, Auntie? You said you had a lead? Don't keep us in suspense, Auntie. What did you find out about the plastic face man? I'll be cordial. Shut up, MS. I have important news. Well, okay. Well done. Kylie Ching takes out her PDA and gently places it on a table in front of her. The wiretap we placed on the police force has borne fruit. Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin, and her eyes take on a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt. My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between a plastic-faced man and Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit. Whoa. This should be good. Should we take a seat? Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There were some technical difficulties with the tap. She glances at Bao, who nods back at her. The person responsible has been sacked. So she means the person responsible has been killed. Jane reaches out a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stabs it in victory. There's a loud crackling noise at the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gobbet cover her ears in pain. When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman is louder, closer. Say that again. There's something wrong with this line. I said my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector. That's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have a department to run, not for much longer. If those two Westerners aren't found, they're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately. The two runners are his accomplices, too, the little orc and the dwarf with the cyber deck. Gobbet looks at Isabel wide-eyed and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly. I'm aware, Inspector. Thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk be mitigated immediately. I've already made this the SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department. That is a problem that can be easily dealt with. My client wants this over now. So no more excuses. No more fuck-ups. No more cops floating in the river. Kylie Ching smiles at that and pours herself a shot. Nice. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts. Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires my personal verification that the threat has been eliminated. Hang on, this line's getting worse. There's a sharp crackle and the recording ends. Kylie Ching picks up her PDA and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap on her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw in the surveillance footage, the one who killed Raymond Black. She leans into the PDA. The plastic face looks a lot cooler up close up. I think it's kind of pretty. That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already know that there's an APB on us. All we're sure of now is that the man with the plastic face is definitely working for someone else. This Josephine. Is that all we have, Auntie? A first name? It's not just a first name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Sang? She's the one pulling the strings. Kylie downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on her table. That disease-riddled dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning. She jumps her fingers on the table in front of her. And she had nerve to call down the heat on my runners? On Nightjar? Oh, that scabrous fossil's gonna pay. This woman has enough power to order the AKPF to hunt us down. I don't recognize the name. Jane makes a wet hacking noise in the back of her throat and spits on the floor. She's the CEO of Sang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns to a mask of disgust. Josephine Dog fucking Tang. What? Why did she keep doing what? She must know her from somewhere. What is Sang Medical Services? What do you think about the connection is between Josephine and the plastic face man? Remind me who the executive council is again? Sure. I don't know yet, but I will. He called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Chang nods at Wu. Her glance lingers at his biceps a moment before it continues. What was that about? Right now, all you know is that he is her instrument, the one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gun Show. She smiles at him with proof. She's like, yeah, okay. Let me just... Yeah, you said that before. Good job. Regardless, the plastic face man is still our best lead for figuring out what's going on. It's like when you pat a puppy and it's like, yeah, you did a good job trying to use the bathroom outside. You almost made it, but you went at the door, okay? Alright. I do want to know what she knows about her. She was Hong Kong Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2055. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution centers, good causes, and the kind that get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people doing the hard work. The face-to-face with the poor work. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Auntie Chang smiles at her sweetly. Coming face-to-face with the unsanitized for video poor is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and a philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Sang is a lying, conniving bitch. Philanthropist and bitch? Those two things sound mutually exclusive. Sounds like you two have a history together. Whatever gave you that impression, my sweet? Her Wolford smile returns. Yes, my darling. I don't like Josephine Sang, and I'm gonna fuck her up. I'm gonna fuck her up bad. Oh, she pissed Chang off. Care to elaborate on that, Auntie? Oh, this should be good. I don't know, Auntie. That woman sounds like something we shouldn't mess with. I'm gonna straddle the middle line. It will be delicious, and I may explain why someday, but not today. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift your way. When I finally get her, you'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. I've never seen her show so much emotion. What is Sang Medical Services? Well, she's in a talking mood. Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Sang family, but after she fought for and won the contract to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began a rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the executive council. Wait, so there's a connection between Josephine Sang and the Walled City? Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected the dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. Remind me who this executive council is again? May I, Auntie? Isabel breaks in, giving Connie Chains a chance to calm down a bit. Hong Kong is run by a consortium of a powerful corporation called the Board of Governors, who set up the Executive Council, an 8-member committee of exemplary Hong Kong citizens to represent the people and run the city on their behalf. But, of course, you don't vote for them. That would be too unpredictable. Instead, every 2 years, 2 executive council slots come up for election, and corporations on the board of governors put up some possible candidates and vote among themselves in a closed-door session. Closed door? I'm shocked. Of course, every single one of these candidates is on some corporation's payroll. Somehow, wham, bam, instant government. Let's cut to the chase. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Sang, as much as I hate to admit it. But the plastic face man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Her little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Sang thinks she can take out 2 of my runners and get away with it, I'm gonna have to explain things to her. She pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it beneath her nose. We're going to find the plastic face man, and we're going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does. And then we'll use that to strike back at Josephine Sang. She lights her cigar and takes a deep, deep pool. You will have your vengeance and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out. I have work to do. Alright, well, that was nice. Very nice talking to you. That's the doctor, right? Yeah. I don't think I have anything new for you. Right? Yeah. Alright, well that was fun. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is head back and collect my payment from the mission computer. And then we can go on our talking rendezvous and talk to everybody in Hong Kong City. Not Hong Kong City. Heoi. Alright. So let's go to the mission computer. The workstation, the mission computer, the cool blue tones. Oh wait, I feel like I read that a lot. Check your inbox for new messages. Oh wait, let me turn my job in first. You submit the job as finished and await the response. A few moments later, a message pops onto the screen. From Connie Chang to MS, a little bird whispered in my ear that Wu Jing's fortunes are already falling. Their stock value dropped by 2% already. The client finds this to be an acceptable indication of your success, and as forwarded payment, I've attached your cut to this email. Nice. Alright, so let's check the box for new myth. About those dreams. Gobbet's face winks onto the screen. Her rats are perched precariously on her head, and she holds a laser pointer clutched between her thumb and forefinger. Oh, hey, Seattle, I hope that I didn't catch you at a bad time. She flicks the laser pointer, and her rat's head swiveled to the right to follow the motion. Why did I just say that? This is a recording. It doesn't matter if it's a bad time. Well, anyway, I was thinking about that talk that we had. You know, the dream talk about the nightmares and stuff. Another flick of the pointer, the rat's head turned left, their noses twitching. I've got a friend here in town. She wants a parlor of 5 phases. It's sort of our local magic shop and tailsmonger. Name's Crafty. Wait, flick. The rat's head turns toward to stare at the ceiling. Anyway, she's smart. Really smart. Her mom was sort of a local authority on all things magical, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you want to ask anyone in town about these dreams, she'd be the right one to choose. She taps a button on the laser pointer with her thumb, and the little red dot in the tip goes dark. The rats immediately tackle one another, rolling off her head and falling out of sight. She gets up, her head rising out of frame. Anyway, just thought it might help. If you've already been talking to Crafty, please disregard this message. Alright, I'm out. Peace. She punches a button and the screen goes dark. Ooh. So talking to them actually gives you like extra story. Nice. Yo, come see me if you have a chance. I have a trade opportunity. Maximum. Oh, okay. Auntie Chang and Josephine. From Gobbet to MS. Hey Seattle, I think I can add a little context to that theme between Auntie and Josephine saying, you know, the thing that makes Auntie hit the sauce and talk revenge? This is a combo of stuff I've heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as tax collectors within the walled city, since the walled city was built by Josephine Sang and the Yellow Lotus was run by Auntie Chang. They must have been working to they must have had a working business relationship for a while, at least. From what Nightjar told me, he was her favorite. You got that, right? Auntie was known as a real up-and-comer back then. She was on a fast track to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there was a lot of triads and courts doing biz in the walled city. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they work together nicely, and sometimes people get bloody. The way that I heard it, Auntie Chang came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate business in the walled city. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Sang's company, and everyone else would get cut out. If her plan worked, Auntie would rise on the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Sang would make long bank. There was a catch, though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. They'd be street-level maneuvering and power plays on Auntie's side and blackmail and negotiations on the corporate level from Josephine Sang. My info gets sketchy here. When I pieced together, Sang went behind Auntie's back and took her plan to her boss, a 438 named Wong Long Fat. They cut kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Sang do that? My guess is that she saw Auntie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wong Long Fat is weak and greedy. She can be manipulated if her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in Wall City just like Auntie planned, only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the Lotus ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw sandal just like she was before. Saying backstabbed her, and now she's stuck in Heoi like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. Aw man, no wonder she got so pissed off. Alright, matching local keywords. Thread top shelf sublet available immediately. I wonder if the old stories start from the top and then go down, or from the bottom and come up. Like the title says, good location, cheap rent, serious offers only, please. What do you mean by top shelf? As in fancy corp condo? How'd you manage that? Nah, man, it's literally the top shelf of the converted maintenance closets I live in. You're joking. No joke, it's cheap and the location's good, right near the Temple Street night market, and it has super fast access, just in case you need to get in and out of the matrix quick. I'm not the sort to ask questions. There's just about enough space to stretch out your legs lying down, and there's a ceiling hook for your gear. What do you say? I don't know, I need a place, but still. A shelf in a shared closet? Screw that. I got a sweet pad to rent that you can have all to yourself. It's not Victoria Peak or anything, but it's a bargain. Where's it at? Kowloon Wall City. It's one of the new construction units on the outer edge. I'll throw in a second ceiling hook. Deal? Okay, message me and we'll work out the nitty gritty. Seriously, the Wall City isn't that bad. My apartment is huge and it even has windows. I will beat Harbor Rat's rent. In fact, just tell me what you want to pay. Hello? Nobody wants to live in Wall City. You must be crazy. This newscast just aired. If anyone wants to catch real-time Isobar data or Earthsat images of the storm, the basic service paywall on Skywatcher imagery is easily circumvented. The Imperial Japanese Meteorological Agency today issued an advanced typhoon warning for the northern Philippines and the coast of the Guangdong Confederation, as Tropical Storm Usagi has gone into full-stream typhoon Category 3 in the Pacific. Typhoon Usagi has formed late in the year for such a powerful storm. Meteorologists credit this growing trend of awakening cold season typhoons to global warming and powerful magical vortices in the eastern Pacific, which appears to help drive moist air convective over cooler ocean waters. Newscaster looks down at her notes. According to the official release by Lance Enroki of the IJMA, Usagi is now identified as an awakened storm. We have observed strong lightning activity, electromagnetic anomalies, and extreme concentrations of awakened seabirds along its edges. Awakened storms exhibit anomalous physical and magical behavior. Many experts believe they show reactive intelligence and possibly even self-awareness and will resist making landfall to prolong their lives, even holding position against prevailing winds. Study of these storms is inhibited by their extreme environmental conditions and astral turbulence. In physical strength, Usagi may peak as a violent typhoon Category 5 on the Eastern Pacific scale, but will weaken substantially before making landfall. Although mariner lore is replete with tales of malicious storms, scientists have detected no probable animosity towards metahumans and behavior of these miracles of nature. Learn more on Wild Storms of the Pacific, this week's episode of Savage Nature with host Bertrand Monitor. The Guangdong coast will likely have a long precursor battering with drizzling rains but moderate winds as Usagi stalls offshore. Usagi is one of the more powerful storms of the season, but it's not unusual. Usagi does not have super typhoon potential. This is going to be perfect. A long soft hit by Usagi. Lots of electromagnetic interference, security and cops all tied up. It's running season. I hope everyone's ready for a high operational tempo. Our fixers are already scrambling for crews. I heart storms. Nice. It's so cute. Alright, looking for Decker. Looking for experienced Decker for a discreet milk run on a supply house for purveyors of recreational substances. Potential for a longer term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heist and occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and long list of happy clients. Requirement, you must have a good sense of humor. Hey, are you willing to give a newbie a shot? I've been in and out of Matrix since I was in school. I raised some credits doing odd jobs, so I've got a hot new cyber deck that I'm itching to try on a real run. I don't know, man. We really like to find a long-term Decker, and you kinda don't know shit. You said so yourself. Sorry. Ah, come on, you said it was a milk run. How else would a ShadowRun have started if not with an easy gig? I'm being upfront with you, doesn't that count for something? Fine, I got a test for you. You hacked this guy, Captain Scone, and changed his password to erotic massage. I'm on it, thanks. Done. Am I in or what? Say yes, say yes. What the fuck? Amazon, may I introduce you to our rigger, Captain Scone? You make a fine addition to our team. Thank you, you won't regret this. You gotta start getting people to hack me, gimme, or you'll be looking for a new rigger next. Aw, you know that you love me. Nice. Alright, verse smack. Come on, and welcome to what could very well be the last Shadowland Poetry Slam. Oh my god, are they trying this again? There's something kind of sad about that. End of an era. In honor of Jivebert, I created an expert system that writes haikus. It takes whatever's being said in a thread and turns it into a poem. Mind if I fire it up? Nazi, you shouldn't have. What kind of poetry slam includes bots? This is lame. Homage to Jivebert, the program stirs, turns out text, 3 lines smart apiece. Haha, that's brilliant. Now I can hang up my quill. I really don't buy that a bot can produce poetry like a living, breathing, feeling human being. Sorry, this is bullshit. Despair grips the poets, a machine crafting haikus. The jive bot breaks free. Was that supposed to happen? The slam is now slammed. This program is broken loose. Pandemonium. Well, look on the bright side. How much damage can a runaway poetry bot do anyway? You fucking people. Wow. The hunt continues. A short clip of a Trid news broadcast begins playing, and despite their efforts, no one is yet to come forward. The government of Henan has denied all connection with the terrorist fugitives, even going so far as to state that the White Store organization no longer exists. There has still been no word from the HKPF on the whereabouts of the fugitive terrorists. The mood on the streets is nervous. There is no telling when or where these terrorists will strike. For now, the Special Duties Unit of the HKPF remains on active alert, ready to respond at a moment's notice. This is Sunny Chewing with Horizon News, signing off. What a load of crap. How are they gonna convince us a bunch of crazy terrorists got into Fez and just disappeared under their noses? Huh? This would never happen if Lone Star was the sole police force here. Sure, because heavily armed terrorists never sneak into Lone Star cities like Chicago and Seattle, only to disappear and remain free to roam the streets after they engage in public gun battles. There's no way Henan is connected to these people. If they really were White Star, they'd have struck already. Their entire modus operandi is suicide bombing and civilian casualties. If these people are hiding, they're probably on the wrong side of a setup. Sure, because everybody in the shadows is just some bleeding heart fighting the megas because they believe in freedom. Grow the hell up. Wow. Looking for a tailor for special job. Looking for a tailor for some unusual custom work. I might know a guy. Is this for armor? Not exactly. It's a surprise birthday gift for a friend. A friend's drone, actually. What exactly do you want a tailor to make for a drone? A cat costume with soft little ears and paws. Or, better yet, a bear suit. Ooh, or a red samurai outfit. I even have reference that I can provide. Okay, you got a fat stick of Nuyen? This is gonna cost. I'll find a Nuyen. Can you help me? This would be so worth it. Yeah, I'll hook you up. Alright, can't get a flight to Seattle. Hey, I've got a problem I'm hoping one you can help with. I came out to the Feds 2 weeks ago for work. Now that the job is wrapped, I've been trying to get an under-the-table flight to Seattle for the past week. Off the books, no passport control, that kind of thing. Nobody's making the trip. What gives? Check the news feed, man. Haven't you heard? The Seattle is on lockdown. Nothing coming into or out of the city. A thorough search for at least another week. They caught some smugglers trying to move some really nasty stuff in through a covert landing at Discovery Park. That seems like a bit of an overreaction. Tons of awful stuff moves through Seattle every day. What's so different about this time? Not like this. You didn't hear it from me, but I have some friends with ICE. They say whatever it was, it set off the radiological alarms of the Coast Guard ship that was sweeping the area. We're taking reasonable material here, enriched and ready to go in a bomb. No way, I don't buy that for a second. More likely, some corp had an accident with one of their ships and dumped some radiological material. They just don't want to admit it, so City Hall is covering their asses. Don't dismiss the news so lightly. The smugglers were carrying cargo for Winter Night. It's only pure luck that cargo was intercepted at all. Who the hell is Winter Night? Sounds like a goblin rock band. Not who. what? All you need to know is this. Winter Night is bad news. You cross them, they destroy your life. You ever run into any of them on a job? I suggest a solution that comes in at 7.62 millimeter. Now who? I want to know who Winter Night is. New Pinoy in HK. Hi there, just arrived in HK from CFS and want to meet other runners from the Philippines. Salamat po. Anyone? I make a really good pantsit. Well, why didn't you say so right away? Kumasta po cow. Lots of former Hook families here. Welcome. Hi, Tagasagama. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering this. Me from Manita. I'm a decker. You? QC here. I'm a decker too. Pantsit is fine and good, but can you also make Dinyuan? PM me if you can. Kumasta. Nice to meet you, QC Blues. Hi there, Street Mage here. Might know some Pinot runners looking for a new decker. Welcome. Well, that was nice. The Shadowrunners really do have a good community, even if they are criminals. Looking for decker. Looking for experienced decker for discreet milk run. Oh, you must take experimental stems during runs. You must have a good sense of humor. Weren't you just looking for a decker a little while back? Yeah, I thought he was. I saw your ad, but I was wrapping up a one-time run with an old partner who's moved away. I'd be interested in meeting. Isn't Muffin Top Ninja your physical ad? Did someone call my name? Hey, MTN, long time no beer. We gotta catch up, Sensei. Bring me on as your decker. I guess the kid who answered your last ad didn't work out? That's an understatement. I think we can count on you to not consume any drugs during runs, more specifically drugs that were part of the payload. Fatal experimental drugs that were part of the payload. He died. Ouch. That's not even a rookie error. It's just lack of common sense. A real shame that. Anyway, I'm glad you're on board. Runs, we're not going to have a problem with you. I kind of figured the other one died when they were looking for a new guy. Want to trade eyes? We'll take anything. I acquired a huge supply of cutting-edge cybernetic eyes. My fence did a runner, so I've got eyes up to my eyeballs, as it were. Make me an offer. They've got the whole 9 yards. 2010 vision, camera, low light, and thermographic modes. One size fits all. Sold in pairs only. Box set. Colors: brown, blue, violet, hazel, green flecked with gold chrome. And you've got to install them yourself. Trade your Ranger Arms SM3. Comes with a matching briefcase. Deal. Message me. Can I swap you my old cyber eyes for a new set? Seriously. Anything but that. Can I buy one blue and one brown eye? No, but you can buy 2 pairs. Jeez. Oh, sheesh. Uncle Sis House of Port. If anybody ever has the hankering to go to Uncle Tiz's house of port in Taikyu, I can only say one thing. For the love of all that's holy, don't. I haven't been able to leave my house in 2 days. The only reason I can even post here is because of the RAS override on my deck. What did you eat? Maybe you're just unlucky. All I had was some shumai and ribs. That's pretty basic and hard to mess up. Unlucky is when I get a bad orange at the market. This isn't unlucky. This is something else. This is some kind of vile gastrointestinal sorcery. Oh my god, I've only ate there once. I still have nightmares. It felt like I'd eaten a wasp nest if the wasps were made of rusty razors and also on fire. I thought I was being clever by getting the pulled pork sandwich when I ate there. Nope. Aside from basically being a pile of congealed sludge and the bread being moldy, it was a week before I could hold down anything more solid than congee. What? Are you all a bunch of children? Yeah, the kitchen is dirty, but I've eaten there dozens of times and not once have I gotten sick. Grow up and learn to eat adult food. Wait a second, aren't you the person who was raving about that food cart on the corner of Kimberly and Observatory? You told me to get the yuzu glazed horse tripe. Yeah, how'd you like it? Pretty good, huh? If by good you mean the consistency of tar and old tires, yes, the tripe must have been a week or more old, and I'm pretty sure I smelled rot once the initial citrus blast wore off. Take note, this user's advice on food is not to be trusted. Oh god, reading that actually got me to push past the RAS override. Now my deck is covered in vomit. Thanks, guys, I mean it. Nothing I love more than being sick and disgusting. Oh wow. Walled City embezzlement history. I'm uploading another Walled City report. This one old, from just after they built it. I ended up digging into the history of the place. It's just archival plain text. Oh, it's Isabel. Consolidated Press Hong Kong desk. Sang Medical Services. Sang was again accused in a joint lawsuit headed by Wu Jing Inc. of embezzling hundreds of millions of yuan during the construction of the walled city low-income housing project. The plaintiffs filed an official complaint on Monday, stating that construction contractors had been heavily pressured by Sang to use cheap construction techniques, while kickbacks, graft, and misrouting of funds caused several hundred million yuan to vanish. Sang's legal team strenuously objected to the accusation, citing lack of proof and the corporation's own damaged fortunes. Legal team spokesman Li Kuishan had this to say: "The walled city contract was a disaster for my client. The project was sabotaged at every turn by union activists and competing corporations. TMS struggled heroically to complete the project despite this interference. These parties have now added insult to injury by fabricating charges of malfeasance based on the very obstacles which they themselves created. This has truly become the theater of the absurd. Is it true? According to Consolidated Press financial analyst Gertrude Schoen, it seems unlikely. Sang has struggled financially since the walled city project. Sang stock, ticker symbol TMQ, Hong Kong and Tokyo exchanges, is trading at around 40% of its peak, which it reached just after receiving the walled city contract 4 years ago. Although investigators have indicated there is evidence of possible misconduct, no misappropriated funds have been found, and CEO Josephine Sang recently sold her Victoria Peak estate, citing financial difficulties. If TMS or the Sang family have benefited from stolen walled city funds, they're not showing it. Miss Sang could not be reached for comment." I always thought that Sang rocketed to success on the back of the walled city. They sure trumpet that in their PR. Yep, it's a brilliant piece of historical revisionism. The walled city was a huge loss of face at the time, but somehow they've rebranded the whole fiasco over the last couple of decades. Maybe their underbidding made them seem like a real sucker and brought in the contracts. Isabel, if I find the fact that you posted a financial article to be charming, White Prism, did you just hit on Izzo? Almanita's gonna skin you. No, that's just WP. He's incapable of flirting. Would you date a woman named Amanita and then try to charm someone else on the BBS? WP is just an Argo mentat with a poor social filter. You two must have an interesting relationship. Let's just say we radically complement each other. Alright, well that was fun. So let's go and talk to Duncan, see what he has to say about the last mission, or if he has anything else to add. And that's my room, I always do that. You enter to find Wu stalking for silently, one hand held rigidly near his hip, the other flexing and unflexing again and again. When he notices you, he nods once and goes back to his cage panther routine. You're gonna wear a hole in the floor that way. Wu keeps pacing. Need something? Yeah, drink. Looks like you could use one too. I need to know that you're not gonna go on a rampage soon. Are you going to be okay? Yep, just trying to maintain. Pacing helps. Been thinking about Josephine Sang, what she did to our family, what she did to Carter. His pace increases a bit. He and his tusk jut forward slightly. Josephine Sang. Goddamn Josephine Sang. And don't fixate on her, Wu. We'll find a way to get her, Duncan. Good, because when we do, the old Duncan is coming out and play. Wu's eyes smolder. Here's what we do. We walk into Sang headquarters, ask for the boss. When she comes down, we grab her, take her somewhere quiet, and ask her why she had Carter and those runners killed. Find out what happened to Raymond, whether he's alive or dead. What happens next is up to her. Kidnap a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council while there's an APB out on us? I think the direct method will result in quick death. Good thinking. Thanks, I'll consider it. I'm not considering that. That's a horrible idea. It's bold. Don't ever see it coming. This is the way to go. My way. Whoa, did you just say my way? Now, where have I heard that before? What? My way? That's right. There's one way this is gonna go. He catches himself. Understanding appears in his eyes. Oh, crap. That's what Ray used to say. Raymond Black, our benevolent dictator. No questioning his rules, no falling short of his expectation. It was his way or the wrong way. Or you get the full-on Raymond treatment. Raymond could be pretty harsh when we didn't live up to his standards. He fell on the wrong side of his rules more than once. Yeah, I say that. I didn't care to be on the receiving end of that, and I was more than once, that's for sure. You remember what happened a few years after he moved out of the squat and into his house? The thing with Double Tray and Lockjaw, when he accused us of relapsing back into our old ways? Man, that's when Ray's authorities finally got tested. His raspy baritone is tinged with satisfaction when I finally stood up to him. Yeah, the way he handled that was part of the reason I eventually left. He just wouldn't listen. He could be pretty damn rigid, but then again, you both could be. He couldn't hear a word you were saying. I never seen him so angry. It was a sight to behold, that's for sure. I didn't listen, he didn't listen, then we butted heads. Same as always, he smiles but it fills with regret. Well, that one was the worst. Good thing you were there to stop it. His face settles into an expression of resignation. Okay, Miss S, we don't need to do things my way, but no need for us to butt heads. He stresses, you can hear his joints crack. And on that note, I'm gonna ask you to clear out. It's been another long day. I'm getting the feeling that they're all gonna be long days. You think this is bad? Try prison. Yeah, I hear you. Later, Duncan. Catch you then, Mooshi. I didn't get a chance to ask him about how he thought the mission went. That's okay. Isabel's avatar blossomed into the screen at your approach. Need something? I'm busy. And he talks about that last run? Oh right, she doesn't like talking. Hey, that's the way you feel. I forgot that she doesn't like talking about missions. Nice avatar, that's good on you, isn't it? Oh wait, I already said that, didn't I? You know, MS, I've been thinking about the question you asked me a little while back. The one about the walled city. The avatar fidgets, the one that I dodged. You don't have to make a big thing out of it, Isabel. It's fine. It didn't seem like a dodge to me, besides the whole game and question thing was your idea in the first place. Yeah, I remember. Look, I wasn't trying to cheat you out of your answer. I want you to know that. It's just that talking about the walled city is problematic for me. I understand. I grew up in the Barrens. I know how hard it can be to talk about this stuff. We all got problems. This shouldn't stop us from doing what needs to be done. Things are hard. I get it. But this is important is... I'll be understanding. No, it isn't that. I'm not explaining myself correctly. It isn't that I'm tortured by bad memories or anything like that. The problem is that I can't remember my childhood. The walled city, that entire chapter of my life, is nothing but a blur to me. I can give you general information about life on the inside, but the specifics of my own experience are gone. Gone? What do you mean, gone? Do you have amnesia or something? Something like that. The avatar fidgets on the screen. There were a variety of factors in play. The upshot of all this is that there are things that I can tell you about, but only a few and only in bold strokes. Don't expect any personal stories. I couldn't share them even if I wanted to. So if that's okay with you, if you'll be satisfied with trivia and urban legends, then we can talk. Just say the word. Otherwise, well, at least now you know why. You really feel at home in the Matrix, don't you? You look pretty happy in there. I suppose that I am. It's a comfort thing. As long as I'm jacked in, I can be whoever I want to be, whatever I want to be. Out here in meat space, I usually feel uncomfortable in my own skin. Avatar offers you a lopsided smile. I'd probably just live in here if I could. I heard of actual deckers who tried it. It never turned out well. Dehydration is a bad way to go. That's actually a little sad. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But it'll never happen. I know, and of course I was joking. But truth be told, I do spend most of my time out there wishing that I were back in here. If you were a Decker, you'd feel the same. It's hard to live in a cage of meat when you know how sweet it feels to leave your body behind. How did you lose your childhood memories? The Isabel avatar frowns. I'd rather not go into it. It's personal. Suffice it to say I've never missed them, at least not until now. That wasn't an answer. What happened to you? If you didn't want to talk about it, if you ever want to talk about it, I'm a good listener. She looks away. Great. I'll keep that in mind. She's like, you dunce. I'm not going to talk about it with you. Can you think of anything else at all that might help us? I don't know. Maybe. I'll put some thought into it. The avatar pauses, turns away. After a moment, Isabel's voice pours through the trio speakers. On second thought, maybe I do have an idea. Are you open to taking on more work? Of course, Silent kindly sends me new job offers all the time. This wouldn't be work for Auntie Chang. Think of it as a side gig that you'd be doing for me. I think I've got a line on some software that could help us. I can get to it on my own, though it's a two-person job at least. What kind of software? It's kind of hard to explain. It'd be easy for me to just show you, but trust me, it'll help. I have the run all planned out already. I've done the legwork, I know the location, I know the target. Just say the word and I'll send everything I have to your mission computer. You can look it over, weigh it, and decide what you want to do. Alright, deal. Send the file. The Isabel avatar closes his eyes for a moment and then opens them with a smile. Done. You'll find the pertinent documents waiting in your inbox. If you decide to accept the mission, just check the box and the mentioned documentation and it'll ping my comlink automatically. Alright, can't wait to see what this is all about. I'm sure that the briefing I sent you will satisfy your curiosity. Trust me in this. This is a good job with a solid plan behind it. You'll see as soon as you read it. And speaking of which, you should go do that now. Say no more. I'll go check it out. Avatar beams at you. Fantastic. I can't wait to hear what you think. I wonder what that's all about. Alright, Gobbit, hit me up. Hey again, what's up? How do you like life here on the boat hole? Any thoughts about that last run? It always surprises me how much corporations will pay to screw up a competitor's feng shui. Hell, they'll even take each other to court over architecture that blocks key. It has real impact, though. A little ship there, a little ship here, and there might not seem like much, but even fractions of a penny lost on their stock value is millions. Gobbit shrugs, pursing her lips. I could see us change the flow of key in that building, but I still have no idea how to make it work for me. You need a real specialist for that, like a Taoist priest or something. Based on what I could see, though, I think Wu Jing's fortunes will wane, at least for the time being. They'll fix what we broke, eventually, but until then, there may be a rash of stubbed toes. So, what else did you want to chat about? How did you like life here on the boat hole? It's fine, shaping up. Having new roomies is always nice. She smiles. How are you enjoying your cabin? Comfy enough for you? It isn't half bad. Better than some of the places I've squatted in back in the Barrens. I'll get used to it. I'd almost rather sleep outside. I've heard stories about the Redmond Barrens. Sounds like a real winner of a place. Kowloon isn't any better, of course, but at least our little slice of home is safe. That's true. It's handy having a mob boss on our side. I'll take the boat hole over the Barrens any day. This boat should have been scrapped years ago. I'd feel a hell of a lot safer at a hotel. That's the spirit. A lazy smile spreads across her face as her fingertip brush madness's back. The rat squeals and darts back into the safe haven of Gobbit's hair. You know, the boat is pretty mediocre name for a ship. Ever consider changing it? You said, did you teach me how to be a better Shadowrunner? I'm here to collect. Oh, this is a different topic now. Yeah, sure, considered it a bunch of times. I never really cared to actually do it, though. She should. You want to call her something else? I'm open to it. I want a strong name. How about the Defiance? The Revenge feels appropriate. Let's go with something classical. The Duergar Empress has a nice ring to it. Let's call her the Kraken. The Big Texas. That's what we're calling her. Tell me you don't love it. Defiance or Kraken? Both of those sound really good. I want to see what Gobbit thinks about the Kraken. Aye aye, Captain. The Kraken it is. She nods enthusiastically. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. I think that the others will be happy with it. I'm having second thoughts about the new boat name. You said that you teach me how to be a better Shadowrunner. I'm here to collect. Still remember that, do you? Huh, I just assumed that you laughed that off. Dude, no dice, wizened mentor. You offered, now pay up. She straightens. Okay, how about this? I'll tell you a story about a run gone bad. You tell me what you'd have done in the runner's place, and then we'll compare notes on your answer. How does that sound? You tell me, you're the teacher here, remember? Right, it sounds good. Of course it does. So that's what we'll do. She sweeps a tangled rope of hair out of her eyes and back over one pointed ear. After a moment of silent contemplation, she bites her lip and nods. Okay, so this is a story from early in my career. I was part of a team here in HK, but I did some occasional moonlighting for another group based out of Macau. I was a busy kid. Go on. The job was a hit on this tower, sort of a trip multiplex / apartment complex. I'm sure that they've got them in Seattle too. You know the kind. 7 huge screens, monster concession stand, coffin apartments on top like barnacles on a well. I used to go to one back in Seattle. Best way to watch urban brawl. Never been to one, but I've heard of them. I lived in one for a while. Every time they showed an action movie, the walls would shake. She nods. Good. You know what I'm talking about. Then our client wanted us to break into one of the apartments. The story was that an ex of hers, a guy named Boggs, lived there. She'd been cooped up with him until about a week prior. Then things went sour in a big way. She wanted us to get back some things that Boggs kept when he kicked her out. Scare the shit out of him, bloody him up a bit, make it like a robbery. You know the drill. Sounds more like a job for thrill gangers than full-fledged Shadowrunners. I put a few jobs like that myself back when I lived in the Barrens. It was a standard smash and grab then. Yeah, it was a pretty bush league gig, but the pay was decent enough, not the sort of thing you turn down. So anyway, Sibilance, that was our group leader, had a plan. We knew that we had to go in quiet because the Metroplex had a panic system wired directly to the HKPF. we gone in shooting, we'd have been drowning in cops within 10 minutes. Got it out. Duh. Civ thought that we could maybe take advantage of the apartment's terrible soundproofing and kick in Bob's door when the movie got loud. We camp out near his doorway, wait for the ceiling to start raining plaster, then smash our way in with his neighbors none the wiser. Doesn't sound like a black pan. There's no way that would work. Well, it had the virtue of being simple, I'll give it that. But still, that didn't stop things from going the way that they did. We waited in the hall just like Semblance planned. We had a guy on the elevator, another at the stairs. I was waiting on the floor's communal kitchen. Still took a position by the door. She had these cyberlets that she dumped a ton of nuyen into. Hydraulic jacks, strength enhancements, the works. Girl could probably leg press a dump truck. She paused for a moment. Come to think of it, most of her plans involve kicking. There's something a little sad about that. And this woman had the best suited to lead this particular group of runners. Tragically, yes, everyone else has various shades of immoral or screwed in the head. Oh, Semblance might have had a tendency to solve all her problems the same way, but she was better than the alternatives. Anyway, we heard a boom from downstairs, felt the wall shake with the reverb. She wheeled back and gave the door a massive kick, just as she planned. Where I was standing, I couldn't really see what happened next. I could hear a massive crack as her boot slammed into the Duraplast. The door flew off its hinges, exploded off, might be a more accurate phrase. A second later, we heard an ungodly crash. There was a moment of silence, then Sid let out this little gasp. The apartment was in shambles. It looked like a hurricane had hit it. Everything was trash, everything but the door, which was miraculously still in one piece. Remember that this was a coffin apartment. It wasn't much wider than the door was to begin with. And Boggs, well, what was left of him was under the door too. Well, you got the rough him up part, right? That didn't turn out well. Oh no. Yeah, it wasn't good. Boggs was dead, and the stuff that we've been sent there to recover had been smashed to bits, and then the building alarm went off. So that's the situation. Our payday is smashed. My temporary teammates are all standing around with stupid looks on their faces. The cops are coming. I'm standing by the kitchen. She puts her hands on her hips, smiling. What would you have done in my place? Her group was in trouble. I'd have rallied with them and tried to help them fight their way past the cops and out. Semblance created this situation. You weren't even a part of her team. You were subcontracting. I'd have cut and run. Damage control. I look for blackmail material to protect myself from a soon-to-be angry client. I have to try to improvise. Was there anything in the kitchen you could use to resolve the situation? Damage control. She nods thoughtfully. Fair, that isn't what I did, but don't think that didn't cross my mind. So what did you do? The first thing that popped into my head, that's a lesson to remember, Seattle. The first answer that you come up with is almost always the best one you're gonna have, so just roll with it. Don't second guess yourself, don't hesitate, just act. You live longer that way. As for what I did that night, well, I was standing by a kitchen, remember? I could have cut and run. I looked like any other street kid. I'd have blended in, but instead, I decided to stay and help my team. When I think crowded theater, I think place where you can shout fire because it'll cause a panic. Then I thought, cops don't charge into burning buildings, they help people get out of them. And as it happened, I had the means to create real, genuine fire sitting across from me and a pair of industrial ovens. You set the building on fire? I encouraged it to burn, opened the gas vents wide, set the range on the timer, and motored back into the hallway. The others had started arguing amongst themselves. I told them to snap out of it and follow me down into the lobby. We had to clear the hallway before an errant spark took the whole floor out. Unfortunately, the rest of the group wouldn't listen. Sib and the rest of the team were too busy arguing about the relative merits of her let's kick things really hard and see what happens tactical system to want anything to do with me. I shouted back to them that the kitchen was going to explode and continue down the hallway. Just like I'd planned, I got out of that run in one piece, so did every single one of the people in the multiplayer. My fire plan worked beautifully, and the rest of the team had listened to me. They might have gotten out of the building too. Kind of a bummer that they didn't, but at least the run turned out well for me. Ow? Your team burned to death. All's well that ends well, I guess. Yeah, how? Well, I couldn't collect any pay because the run had been a disaster, but after the explosion, I got to ride in the front of the fire truck and they gave me cookies and a blanket. I wound up dating one of those firemen a few weeks later. All things considered, it could have gone a lot worse. Gavit claps her hands together and rubs them, a satisfied look on her face. So, Seattle, the laughter disappears from her voice and her expression goes serious. It's like somebody flipped a switch. Suddenly, look in her eyes is shrewd, calculating. Tell me, what was the moral of this story? What lesson was I trying to convey? That going Shadowrun's an idiot? Go with your gut, I guess. Fire solves our problems. I'm sorry, did that story have a point? Do not sagely. That's right. Trust your impulses and don't be afraid to wing it. Almost any action is better than no action at all. Once you're committed to doing something, you gotta follow it through. So, no arguing or hand-wringing, just do it. If you get caught up in your own head, agonizing over past mistakes, well, don't be surprised if you wind up dead. A kitchen fire can take you down as easy as a cop's bullet if you stand around and let it. Huh, that's all I needed. Thanks, Gobbet. No problem. Sweet dreams. Alright, so the reason that I didn't do the last one is because there was so much talking. And, we're already like pushing what 40 minutes here, something like that. And so I'm gonna end the video here, and I'm gonna level up, get some new gear. We'll see if I can get some new gear and look for that med place because I really do need some med kits. But thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end, this really long video with all of this talking. If you liked the video, comment or subscribe below. Thank you for watching again, and Mooshi Gamer signing out.